I think what you
Mm-hmm.
said about like showing up consistently for yourself, giving yourself love and valuing yourself, like how can we expect other people in our lives to be and treat us a certain way if we're not even doing that for ourselves?
I do too much. When I have too much downtime, I don't feel comfortable. I think rest is hard for me and being still is hard for me, but that is part of the reset process. That is part of just like finding balance in life. And I suck at it. Like I always say, a gentle no sets you up for an enthusiastic yes.
And again, I am a step parent. I have not birthed children. I do not want to birth children. I love my daughter with all of my being, but there does have to be boundaries, and you can say no. It's not the end of the world. They will still love you. I promise you. My kid still loves me with all of her being. She'll tell you I'm her favorite all the time. It's okay. You can say no.
3 women, 3 paths, 1 mission. To prove that your story is not your limitation, to guide you towards your muchness, to explore the unfiltered truths, and to challenge every bit of belief that built your mask. This is Go Be Too Much, the unapologetic space for the bold, the healing, and the unfinished, where we decide what's too much was always meant for more. So let's chat. Maybe we'll fuck around and find out just how unmissable we all are.
Hey, it's MJ, and welcome to Go Be Too Much, where we're going to talk too much about all the things. And today's thing is really just one heavy topic that'll lead into many, because hello, 3 ADHD individuals here. But we're going to talk about burnout, because us 3, we're showing up here today for this because we're passionate about it, because we love it. But yeah, fuck this. We're tired. And I would rather be taking a nap right now. And I can't do that because I also have to keep unpacking my house. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what this episode is. We hope you enjoy it. And so to start with, I mentioned unpacking my house and have all the things to do and still trying to like live life and not just pack the house and not just go to work and kids and still do the things. I have a group of girls who are like, come to trivia night. They've been asking me to. So guess what I'm finally going to do this week on Tuesday?
Yes.
Trivia night. Guess what? I'm already like, why did I agree to that? Who agreed to that? I'll be glad I go. But still, why do we do all the things when we're feeling burnt out? And I know for me, some of the biggest changes and thoughts in trying to manage that has to do with understanding that rest does not mean lazy, and boundaries does not mean that I don't care or that I don't want to. But instead that I value and listen to what's going on with me, and that I actually do better if I listen to that. And so I know that yesterday, in fact, with my brother, I got up, I took my oldest to do softball pictures and then 2 softball games, and then had to rush home to get my daughter ready to go to her first toddler rave with her dad. And then I went to lunch with my dad and mom and brother. And walking into the restaurant, I was telling my brother, okay, after this, when we get home, I want to do this, this, and this with my room and stuff. And when we were almost done eating, my brother was like, and now I'm ready for nap. I was like, yeah, remember that to-do list? Yeah, we're not going to do any of that. And then he was just like, what to-do list? I was like, right. So that's my most recent burnout sort of feeling, and trying to still do all the things and recognizing that, you know what? It's going to take a while to get unpacked. And I deserved to have a day yesterday where I came home from lunch and napped for an hour and a half because my room doesn't have blinds and the sun comes in and is cooking me in my bed. So I wake up. But then I had made plans with a gentleman, but I had made plans to purposely and intentionally go to his home and watch a movie and order in, because I want to do something. I'd been wanting to say yes, but I'm like, I just don't want to do anymore. And so when I suggested this, he was totally down for it. And when the night was over, I was like, this was absolutely what I needed it to be. So my advice to people is listen to what you need. It's okay. People are going to meet you where you're at. And if they're not, then
peace out, Girl Scout.
That's okay. Let them, right? Like we talked about in another episode. So that's my piece for right now. Whoever wants to go next, this is how we're rolling today.
Well, I think I I am trying to balance a lot of things. I am currently a contract worker, and if I don't have a contract, I'm not employed. I am not earning income, and that is an uneasy feeling. And that does interesting things to my ADHD brain because I am go, 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 go. Live a very routine, scheduled life because you get up, your dog tells you it is time to go walk, and you do all of the things. And I don't have that structure right now. So that is leaving a lot of chaos and uncertainty in my brain, and my brain is kind of freaking out on that. So what it did was swing the other way. We're not doing work, in the traditional setting, so then I need to say yes to everything. I need to go work the farmers market. I need to watch everyone's dogs. I need to do all the extra projects around my house. I need to do things for the business. I need to do this and do this and do this. And then I've said yes too many times and I've done too many things. And now I have no time to rest and I'm irritable. I was I was bitchy and snappy last night for no reason. I was like, I'm going to go marinate in the shower because I have a shitty attitude and I am going to go in there until it is better, until I am in the moment because it's just I do too much. When I have too much downtime, I don't feel comfortable. I think rest is hard for me and being still is hard for me, but that is part of the reset process. That is part of just like finding balance in life. And I suck at it. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at the downtime. I'm really antsy. And so when I have too much downtime, I do entirely too much. I say yes to all the things. And then I'm resentful. And then I crash out like a little toddler. And then I don't do anything. And then I don't see anyone. And then I'm not connecting. And connection is so big for me. Connecting with my people, with my community, doing the things like that is so big for me. But when I say yes too many times, I get resentful. And then it's no, fuck you, no, 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 no. And I shut down. And that's not good for my mental health either. What do I always tell my kids? A gentle no or a soft no sets you up for like a powerful yes, like a meaningful yes. Like, no, not right now. No, not today. Like, no, thank you. But then like this, yes, I am excited. It's not a resentful yes. It is, I'm excited to see you. Yes, I will do that. But I suck at that. God, I suck at that. I'm not good with the balance yet. Cassie, what
No.
about you? What is life doing for you?
Burnout for me is yesterday. I also am a yes person and I need to be better about it. But one of my clients is starting her photography business. And she's like, Cassie, can I do a free branding shoot for you? And I was like, absolutely. Like, why not? You helped me, I'll help you, kind of thing, right? Another reason why I have awesome clients. I normally never schedule things before my open houses because I like to show up early and take my time and get in the mindset and in the frame because I'm going to talk to a lot of people. And yes, I'm in customer service, but I have to get in the zone because it takes all my social battery to talk to people for 3 hours. But I scheduled it right before my open house. Not only did I schedule it right before my open house, I scheduled it 30 minutes away in a different county.
Because of course you did. Why
Because
not?
why it's not that far, right? So we're doing that. We're taking our photos, we're doing all the things, and it was a good time. She's such a hoot. She's wild. And it's 11 o'clock and I was like, I gotta go. Well, my version of gotta go is the whole Midwest slap your knee, talk for 20 more minutes. I finally leave and it's like 11:20 and I was like, it's a 30-minute drive and my open house starts at noon. And then not only is that, there's an accident that's 10 cars ahead of me that shuts down the entire interstate. So that way they can move the cars from the far left lane all the way to the right side. I'm pushing my luck. I'm messaging the agent that I'm holding it open for. And I'm like, poor planning. So sorry. Dressing my own self out because this is what I get for cutting it close because I love cramming as much stuff as possible into
One more
the
thing.
small. One more thing. I got it. It's fine. So I show up and it's like 11:55 and I get everything done. And it was fine. I got everything set up. But I hate that I do that because even though I love chaos and I thrive in chaos, and that's why I get a lot done. Like I like that time where it's like I showed up 15 minutes early. I can change and get it. But does my brain work like that? Fuck no, it doesn't. It's like, oh, you want to do this at this time in a different county 30 minutes away? I got time. Like reflecting back, I was like, Cassie, you knew you didn't have time. Why did you say yes? Like, again, good time, right? But I just was like, you're a fucking idiot, Cassie. Like, you know better. But it's so funny because we still say yes to everything. Like we know better, but we still say yes. Like why can't I say no? be like, hey, that doesn't work for me. Could I do a different day? Because again, it's their business, right? Like as a business owner myself, but as you guys know, like sometimes it doesn't line up, right? We try to find a middle ground. Why didn't I say that? I knew better, and I still was like, no, I can't tell her no. What will she think? All these things. Like I'll fit it in.
Mhm.
Hindsight, I really wish I would have said, could we schedule a different day? Because I'm tired today.
Well, and you talking about thriving in chaos, we all do. Hello, right? And Mandy, you talking about why can't I like sit, be still, those things. And that's it, or that mine's like this perception of them being lazy or something, right? And it's because for so long, our nervous systems have been in a state of constant, of go, of survival, of reckoning. And so when you have that stillness, when you have that calmness, it's like, this is wrong. This isn't what we should be doing. This isn't okay. I'm not going to get all the things done. No, you're going to get all the things done at just maybe in a different manner. And I know for me, a big shift of mindset is trying to be like, it's not that I'm running late. I'm right on time. It's not that that's not getting done. It's just not getting done right now. Like, but I also think that a big thing with our ADHD is we have this, if I don't do it right now, it's not getting done. Or who knows
If
when
it doesn't go in my calendar, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's been so many moments doing things around the house and so many moving parts, and everybody obviously, because like it's my home and need to know like, where do you want this? What do you want to do with this? But I'm doing my own thing as well. And I'm like, wait. And I like dart off to do something. I'm like, I don't do this right now. It's not getting done. I'll be holding whatever it is for the next hour. Like, what was this for? Why was I doing this? But I, we all have like that social battery, and we want to be external. We are external, and that's not the word that our secretive thinks. We're extroverted, and we all want to be extroverted, right? But there's so much of us that is like, but we're also introverted, right? And learning that balance, and like a previous episode, learning the duality of being both, right? And so I just wanted to mention that last night we were watching the Wednesday show for anybody who watches that new series. And there's a part in it that I could not stop laughing at. The principal said to Wednesday, like, don't you have that thing kids have, like the FOMO, the fear of missing out? And she's like, no, I have phobia, fear of being included.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, that is totally like, I want to be included. I want you to ask me,
but I don't want to go.
Probably tell you no.
I don't want to
go. Or I'm going to say yes, but whoever MJ, Mary G, whichever one's showing up that day, like may or may not also not want to do that.
I don't know.
I don't know. And I won't know until the moment.
Right. Oh, it's so hard. And then we get deemed as being flaky or inconsistent or not committed to things. And it's like, wait a minute, none of those words actually describe me. I am not flaky. I'm very loyal and dependable and reliable. I am very committed to things and consistent. And it's like, just because though in certain aspects I have this struggle like that I'm still trying to figure out, doesn't make me that way. But it's very easy for people to see that, deem it as that, and write it off as that.
You, Mary, recently challenged me, I think, in a situation with an individual to reflect on what consistency means or what it looks like for that individual. And then what were my expectations of that? Is this person being consistent for them and it's not meeting my expectations, or are they truly being inconsistent? And that's something that I can't tolerate right now in my life. Because you are correct. We are all chaos coordinators and we all communicate well with each other, but we didn't get here overnight. We have probably had some bitchy moments with each other where we're figuring out like, that twat waffle, like, why, what is happening again? And, we got here. We built this brick by brick, year by year, moment by moment. So when new people come into our life, whether it's bosses or new friends or new like romantic partners and things like that, looking at things through the lens and consistency that's a big one. And for the burnout aspect of this, I am struggling so much right now because I don't have consistency for what it looks like for me. It doesn't look the same because I am not doing the same things every single day. And I am having to sit in that discomfort and figure out, like, what can I do consistently? What can I do in my life that gives me that sense of control, things that are showing up consistently while I'm not in a traditional role. Like, I am struggling because I don't have a job right now. I don't have anything right now, but I have plenty of things to do. I have plenty of things that are keeping me busy and tasks that I'm enjoying doing, but I'm like running towards more. I need more because my worth has always been tied to production. And that is something that I am working on deconstructing, is that my worth is tied to what I can do for you, how much I can show you I love you, how fast I can do that thing, how smart I can make you think that I am, how supported I can make you feel. My worth is inherently tied to what I can do for you. So if I can't do anything for you, then what is my worth as a human? And that has been an entire mind fuck for much of my adult life. And it leads to a lot of burnout, always.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think again, it's understanding that we are worth and deciding what that worth is for ourselves, not based on what other people say that it should be. And it is hard to say that, and especially when we are people who are driven and determined and we want to do right. And so, but it's understanding that we will get to do all of those things. There is no actual timeline. Like it is truly an illusion. And so the whole hustle, right? It's like whether it's from our own lives personally, somehow put in there, whether it's from society in general, like that hustle mentality, like that's not actually what benefits us. It's not what actually makes us be successful and do all things, right? It's what slows us down. It's what burns us out. It's what stops.
So what I was thinking about when it comes to the burnout is asking for help. And I know, right? The worst. I don't know what's happening to Mary. She don't even know what's happening.
She is on an adventure today.
But asking for help when you're burnt
accepting
out
help
and accepting it. I think the accepting part comes from when outside people insert themselves because they see you need it. And then, yes, the accepting part comes, or just realizing like, fuck my life, lots going on. And I would say that would really play a part of how we even got this thing rolling with Mary. I was proud of you for asking for help, and that Mandy and I did have the capacity to be able to help you. Because again, if we didn't, we should say no. That's literally what we're talking about right now. But that we had the capacity to help, because I hate asking for help. Even Rick helps me all the time. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, it's an inconvenience. And he's like, what do you mean it's an inconvenience?
I'm sorry, I have a need. Like, sorry for taking up space and breathing your air. Like, I'm sorry.
It's no inconvenience, right? But like asking for help, I think, is the hardest thing too. And when somebody calls you out and tells you, hey, I think you're doing a lot. Can we step back, and not taking it as criticism, but rather like, hey, this person's trying to look out for my best interest. Because I know sometimes when people tell me I'm doing too much, when I'm just burning the candle at both ends, I'm like, I can do it. I'm fine. Well, swallow your ego for 2 seconds, Casi, and realize that you're not fine. That in 2 days' time, you're going to crawl into the bed and rot for at least 2 days. You're not going to be productive on your business anymore. And as a business owner, I don't have that option. Like, you have to show up, right? And so it's like trying to find a healthy balance. And that's what I've really been working on in the last couple months, especially with the recent changes that have happened in my situation. I don't know what you'd call that. I've really had to focus on being consistent and showing up for myself, because if I show up for myself, I can show up for other people. And you can't pour from an empty cup. I mean, when you are on an airplane, it literally says, put your oxygen mask on before helping others. And because I can't help you if I'm dead, right? And so I think it's important for us to be like, is my cup full? Can I help other people? Or am I at a low wick and it's like, I want to help you, but I can't? Like, understand that it's coming from a place of, like I do care, but I just physically can't. I mentally can't. And it goes back to us talking about in that last episode, like your people. Like if I was to tell both of you guys, like I can't do something, you would both be like, cool girl, whatever. And I know if I said that to other people, they'd be like, oh, well, you don't want to do that. Like you were talking about, like they say these weird things. And it's like, it says more about them than it does about me. And that's why I have the people around me that I do, why it's important to have those people that when you are down, they're still accepting of, hey, she's not ignoring us. She's mentally replying to all the text messages while she's figuring her shit out. And just like allowing grace for people. So I think asking for help and allowing grace.
Yeah. And doing it for ourselves. I think what you said about like showing up consistently for yourself, giving yourself love and valuing yourself, like how can we expect other people in our lives to be and treat us a certain way if we're not even doing that for ourselves? And so it's recognizing that that's not wrong of us to do that. It's important for us. And you talking about the oxygen mask and the cup and everything like that. I know Mandy and I, those are things we share in our appointments with people and stuff. But I tell people all the time, like you need to be the top 3 in your own priority and always in the top 3, because if you allow yourself to slip below that, you will slip below and below and below. And hello, no wonder you're dead in the ground and being buried underneath it all, because everything else is pushing you. So if you slow yourself down and say, yes, I need to do this, it can be done later. I'm going to prioritize this, which is going to recharge me, then you're not hurting anything. And so it's trying to identify where are those beliefs coming from that we have to do these other things first, or we have to prioritize a certain way, or that we can't put ourselves in that top 3, right? And then also recognizing that ways that we think we're doing those things or accomplishing those things may not really be. I know for the longest time that I thought as long as I can take a bubble bath here and there, that's my self-love, that's my self-care. And it is. However, it's not enough. Also, I need to be able to, shut my door and be able to do this. And I also need to be able to take a nap if I need a nap, and to have the ability to go meet up with some friends and do some things. And to, there's more to it than just the smallest little thing that might give us a little bit of like a moment's breath.
Well, it goes back to something that you said, like we look at trauma or catastrophes or like these life-shattering, earth-changing moments, like care of self also is in the little things, the little details. And sometimes it is a bubble bath, but sometimes it is you saying no. Like I always say, a gentle no sets you up for an enthusiastic yes. Saying no to something so I can rest, so I can not be around people. So there's not people needing things from me and texting me and calling me and talking to me, so I can go to trivia and be present with friends and have that moment. It's the little things along the way, our mindset, but our chaotic ADHD brains are telling us, go do the things, juggle all of the things. And, oh yeah, by the way, like say yes and sign up for that new class that you wanted to try and go meet with that new client. And then, set up, it's wild how fast our brains get ahead of us. And then our body is like, fuck you, I am burnt out, because we'll feel it in our body before our brain ever acknowledges it.
No, well, and I was thinking too, like, how are we going to show up if anybody's listening that, like, how are you going to show up and be the best wife possible, the best husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, daughter, son, mother, father? Like, how are you going to show up for people if you're burnt at the stick? And like, I think about like, my relationship with Rick, like, how am I, like, let's just say I show up crappy every day. How am I going to expect him to love me? I mean, he will, but like at one point, like when is enough enough? Like, and so if I'm good, then I can be good for him, right? Or like even my kid, like I need to be a good role model and make sure my cup is full so I can show her, what a strong, independent woman can do. And then show her like the relationship between me and her father. Like, this is, I like to think that we have a really good relationship, and what can she look for? My friends, like, how can I be a good friend to you guys if I'm crabby all the time? And then eventually you're not going to want to talk to me because you're going to be like, Cassie, every time you talk, it's like doomsday. And I allowed you to have your pity party for 5 days, but now it's day 6. And I need you to like have that mind shift. Like, we going to stay here or are we going to change? Right. And so I think just like understanding like you can be who you are, but you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And you could be a good mom. You could do more. Like if you're tired for your kids, it's like, hey guys, like let me have a moment. You can tell your kids no. I'll be that person. Like you can tell your kids fucking no. And I know that a lot of people will be controversial on that, but it's like you like there are certain times when it's like, hey, I need a moment so I don't want to throat chop people. And like and even if it's like 5 minutes, and of course they're gonna huff and puff and be like, oh, this was stupid. They're kids. Let them be kids. They don't understand yet, and that's okay. We understand that as adults that kids don't understand. So it's like, give me 5 minutes and then go check on them and be like, thank you. And acknowledge that, right? Be like, thank you for letting me have 5 minutes. And they'll be like, oh, like it doesn't have to be a punishment. You're not trying to, but like I think sometimes, as a and as a parent you're just like, I don't know when to stop or when to go, and it's like you gotta set boundaries that way too, because that is also how you can be better. And again, I am a step parent. I have not birthed children. I do not want to birth children. I love my daughter with all of my being, but there does have to be boundaries, and you can say no. It's not the end of the world. They will still love you. I promise you. My kid still loves me with all of her being. She'll tell you I'm her favorite all the time. It's okay. You can say no.
And I think what you just said, I actually posted something on the Go Be Too Much like Facebook page recently about the, children aren't going to grow up loving themselves and treating themselves the way we treat them with that percent. I can treat them like they're the best little kid, an angel, sweethearts. They're beautiful, they're smart, they're funny, all these things. I can do all that, but they're going to grow up with these own thoughts and these own beliefs because of what they see. And so by actually setting that boundary and stuff, it's teaching them that they can set the boundary by showing that I just don't want to be with anybody. I'm going to be with somebody that's going to treat me a certain, like that's going to show them those things. Like, yeah, sure, I could find any Joe Schmo to bring around, but is Joe Schmo really what I should be bringing around, And so I think that's absolutely true. The watching and what they see, like, that's going to make more of the impact than just by what we tell them. Because think about the things we've been told. And yes, we've been told things, and the negative and what we see from that, obviously, has not held as much weight as maybe those good things, or maybe we forgot those good things that we were always told. But
yeah,
that's what we're trying to change now. We're trying to change the good communication, the positive speaking, but also those actions that show that. And I think, too, the other thing I wanted to say to that was, and then I lost it. So never mind, because I didn't write it down because chaos happened. So
well, and Mary, listening to both of you guys talk, I don't have children. I've said this. I'm not birthing any children of my own, but my last contract was out of high school, and sweet baby angel face child really latched onto me. He was in my office quite a bit. He's very severely ADHD, bouncing off the walls, lots of energy, lots of recognizable energy. And I absolutely loved him because he was such a caring kid, and he was so observant, and he just had so much curiosity and zest for life. But he would come in at the end of the day, and I would have seen, 9, 10, 15 kids, and he's coming in, and it's and it's just bouncing off the walls. And I was like, you don't have to hold my hands, but like, hold my hands with me. All right. We've got to stop, because my brain didn't process anything you just said. I didn't hear anything you said. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'm sorry. I'm too much. I know I'm talking too much. And I said, no. And I made him look at me. I was like, I need you to hear me when I say this. You are not too much. You are not talking too much. My brain is just having a hard time processing information. It's the end of the day. And so I just need a second to breathe. And now, can you please tell me all of those things again? Because I really want to appreciate it. And that was like one day, and then 3 days later, he came in and he was like, is it an okay time, miss? Do you have the energy? Do you have the energy to talk? And I'm just, I think it's important to model, like, I see you. I recognize that energy. I know what's going on here. And I value that. I value what you have to say. But right now, where I am at, physically, mentally, otherwise, I just need a second. And he was okay. He sat there and he's listening to music and he's trying to do work and things. And he checks in. Like, those moments are important. Like, I don't expect him to be anything other than who he is. Like, that child cannot say he's not going to sit still. That's not his personality. He's got a lot of thoughts to get out. And I don't ever want to dim that, because I saw it in this freshman's face when he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm too loud. And I know that that's what he's heard about himself. I know that that is feedback that he has gotten. And I just want to model how I catch up, how I regulate, how I kind of calm down in this moment, because like you said, Mary, we are the mirror. Like, I can tell you you're fantastic, you're awesome, you're beautiful, and I love you. But if my actions don't show you that, if I am not showing love for myself, if I am not caring for myself, and you're watching me treat myself like shit, what meaning do my words have at that moment if I am not walking the walk and talking the talk in that sense? I think you both touched on that with your kids, like modeling that for kids.
Well, and what
Yeah.
you said reminded me what I was going to say about boundaries, and the setting that, taking that moment, letting him see that it wasn't about him, that it was about you, that you just needed that moment to reset. And then you're okay. So you modeled not only how to reset yourself, you modeled that it's okay to communicate your own feelings, which he's trying to come in there and do. So you're showing that it's okay to do that. And then you're showing that, that like you struggle too, right? So all of those things are good. And something Cassie had said made me also think about this with boundaries, is that when we do boundaries, it is possible to upset somebody else, and that's okay. And they may not understand it, whether it's because they're a kid and just don't understand those things, whether it's an adult, they're not what they do or what they like. And that's okay that it may bother them. People who truly love you, truly respect you, truly value you in some capacity, they might get upset. They may not like it, but they'll come to it. They'll come around for it. It'll find its way. People who don't, they're going to stay mad about it. They're going to have a problem with it. It's going to be an issue, right? And then you work from that. But I just wanted to share that little piece about boundaries, because I know a lot of times with my clients, what I'm helping them understand is that it's not that they can't be upset about the boundary. You can't control how their emotions are. They get to have their emotions about it and their thoughts and feelings about it. It's how they choose to handle it that is the difference. And again, if they still don't like it, still don't understand it, but can talk with you about that, try and work through that with you, that's different than people who just want
communication.
You to change it. Yeah.
Every time. Well, and I was just thinking too about, I may not have given birth to this child, but if she is not like me to a T, good Lord, save Brick, send help. So when I tell her, like, I need a moment, mine is I go into my bedroom and I lay on my bed and just silence in the dark.
Yes.
Just there. And she'll come to my door and she's like, are you having your moment? And I said, yes, I am. And she's like, okay. And she walks away. And because she knows now that is just like, oh, we just did 8 hours of social battery. Cassie needs a moment to do whatever. Sometimes my moments are longer than others, but like she recognizes it. And one thing is like trying to help her understand her emotions, because she's got a lot. They're big emotions, and letting her know that she could feel them, but there's healthy ways to go about how you talk to people and express them, because I'm just not a yeller in any way, shape, or the form. And so like I'm trying to teach her now, like, we can have civil conversations. We don't have to yell. Because I'll be like, have I ever yelled at you? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. You are welcome to step away if you want. 9 times out of 10, she'll like calm down and like actually tell me what's going on. I was like, I don't understand what you're telling me when you're yelling at me. I was like, but when we talk about things, and she's like, okay. And just like letting her know that she can have those feelings and that she also can set boundaries. Like that's the thing too, right? Like just because somebody is a family or a friend, or, and this isn't to her, this is just like broadly speaking, but like, oh, you can't talk to that because that's your uncle or that's your dad. You can go fuck yourself. If I don't like them, then I'm not going to talk to them.
Word.
And I'm not going to tell my kid that she has to like you because of XYZ. Like if she does not feel comfortable And she's told me about different people that we've met. And she's like, that was a little weird. And I said, noted, like, great. And now I know. And when that person has come like around again, and it's not like a weird, but like she just voices her opinion. I'm like, she feels comfortable enough to tell me the same thing again, which is great. I don't want you to stop telling me, like, hey, this, like, I want you to voice your opinion. If something is, you're like, they're not that funny, that works. I'm okay, even though they think they're funny, right? Like, I think I'm funny. Doesn't mean everybody else thinks I'm funny. You know what I mean? But like, letting your kid voice their opinion, and I do need to be better about, like, sometimes when I hear noises, my ADHD goes crazy, and I'm just like, can you stop whatever that is? And I'm like trying to be like, Cassie, not everybody has to stop just because it annoys the shit out of you. Whether that's my kid clicking her pen or it's like, that's making them happy at the moment. I just need to remove myself from the situation. Right? Like,
Yes, that's a big piece about boundaries, though. And people
right.
think like you can't talk to me that way or this. Like boundaries are not you telling someone what they can and can't do. It's like if you're not going to stop clicking the pen, I'm going to go in the other room because I need to scream into the great abyss.
Yeah, because that'll just drive me nuts. I'm just like, I
It's what
can't
I'm
do
going to
it.
do.
Like, there's like little noises, and I'm like, I can't do it. And then I have to be like, okay, is it really a big deal right now? No, it's not. Can I remove myself from the situation so other people can still be
Right.
happy? Probably.
Right.
Right?
And
Like,
that's something that you've worked on. That's
oh,
something that you
absolutely.
identified.
I'm
Yeah.
still working on it because I used to be like, stop that, quit doing that. And now I'm like, you do you. I'm gonna go over here. Like, but again, we're not perfect, and that's the whole point, right? Like, we're all trying heal. What do you keep saying? Healing and
Healed and healing. But a lot of what you just described and what you're helping her do is also another word we previously talked about, duality.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Having those
yeah,
feelings, being upset. And I do that with my youngest right now, like my 7-year-old. I get it. You're frustrated, you're mad, you don't like that. And that's okay. And this is also what we have to do right now. Right.
yeah,
And so it's those things.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I working in schools, you see that duality a lot because you've got so many personalities of all the kids and you've got teachers and staff and things that I have to teach you math. I have to teach these other 30 students math. And you are having big emotions right now. And some situations are going to be handled better than others, and a lot of what I do is meeting students where they're at and saying, like, I understand that you are pissed off, like I understand that was embarrassing to be called out in the middle of class like that probably doesn't feel good, and I also need you to take a couple deep breaths and calm down so we don't get suspended, so we don't get kicked off of campus, because kids that have big emotions but don't have language for them or don't have understanding of why I want to rate, like why is my body on fire, why do I want to punch this person right now, is because if you're not seeing emotional regulation, if you're not seeing healthy boundaries, then how the fuck do you know what they are? How do you know what you're supposed to be doing? How do you know that I'm supposed to sit still in this class for 55 minutes because that is what I'm supposed to do in society? And like somebody was clicking their pen and it was driving me insane. Like adult Cassie is like, all right, I'm getting up. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go. But then you have a teenager that has to sit still in the class because that is what is supposed to be happening. And then this kid blows up and then the world is looking at this kid like, well, you're doing too much. Why are you so aggressive? Why are you so disruptive? Why are you so whatever? And it hurts. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to see things like that because I think all of us can recognize, like, I can't fucking sit still. Like I can't sit in your little session, whatever it is, and be still. I need to move. I need to click. I need to think. I need to speak out. And so much of what we tell children or young people or what we model and how we don't tell them or support them, then they grow up to be adults. They grow up to be adults who overextend or people please or who have swung the other way with myself. Fuck you, fuck this, fuck that. Like, here is my voice, hear me roar, and trying to find where is my and? Where is my moment of like, all right, I have these feelings and I need to get this thing done. Like, I fucking hate this, but I also want to be here. Like, life is wild. Life is
yeah.
wild.
I was just thinking about how And I hate this in public schools, but I don't want to be a teacher, so bless all of you teachers out there. But I hate the green, yellow, and red that they put on kids. And they're like, oh, how was your day? I was put on red. Oh, how's your day? I was put on red. And just hearing, like, am I a bad kid? No. Well, then why am I always on red? And it's just like, it pisses me off so bad. I could probably get irate in this whole topic. But I'm just like sitting here going, so you're teaching this kid that because they couldn't sit still and do all these things, that because they were disruptive to class, quote unquote, for those listening, like that they're a bad kid because they're on red. And now they are going to grow up and think that they are a bad kid because of these traits instead of learning how to express them, use their language, communication, yada, yada, yada. And I don't remember what podcast I listened to, but there's this lady, and I want to say she was like 70 or 80 years old. And then she finally decided to like go to college and get a degree. And they asked her what took her so long. And she's like, well, I was told that I was stupid my whole life and I couldn't go to college. And it took her until she was that old to realize that she's not stupid and that she went and she got a degree. And I'm just sitting there going, what we tell, I mean, I know we just segued to kids, but like it matters. Like kids see what we do, they hear what we say, and they believe us because they're taught to believe what the adults say, right? They're an adult, blah, blah, blah. I have a very opinionated kid. We can get on that topic too, because we teach her to ask questions and adults don't like that. So, because if she questions things, she's so smart, so freaking smart. And so when she questions something, I'm like, ask whatever, like I'll tell you the answer. And she does that in school, and sometimes that's not
Well, and it's just
ideal.
how we're trying to, as Mandy has said before, we're trying to square peg round hole. We're trying to say that there's only black and white. We're not allowing the individuality matters. That not, I get it. Not everyone is the exception, and everyone believes they should be the exception, and things like that. But to not even consider, to not even have discussions that could open up possibilities of different things, different options, healthier, right? But rather we're just, nope, we're gonna square peg round hole it. We're gonna black and white it. And it doesn't work. It's not working. Like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And that's all it is. And you can see it throughout history in so many different ways. And the pendulum swinging from one extreme to another, rather than allowing us to find duality and find iridescence and accepting that. And that is a whole other thing. And I'm too burnt out for us to go into that discussion today. So, but I did want to mention on it because it's true. It's so true that we cannot keep saying, I get it, you think your situation or this situation. Like, no, it's not even about that. It's just the discussions of it, the considerations of it.
The consideration. So that, yes, the consideration is the piece. And it kind of goes back to like what we were saying, like, I don't want to go, but invite me. I want to be considered. Everybody wants to be considered because when we're considered, we are seen. And when you are seen, you are validated. And so I'm not asking you to rewrite the fucking scripture. I'm not asking you to do something special and extra, go above and beyond. I am asking to be considered. I am asking to be seen. And I think with us and this podcast, our experiences as young people growing up and then finding ourselves and figuring out like our muchness is us asking to be considered because I want to be seen. I want to connect on the level of who I am as a person. And sometimes that means people have to think outside of the box, and not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone is ready for that. But my hope with this podcast is that we can just plant seeds and start conversations and have people think just like, how can I connect with others? How can I be considerate of others? And how can I meet them where they're at? And just start the conversation.
Right.
Start the conversation.
And we want all of that, yes, in an external way. And that is very human of us. And that's absolutely understandable and deserving and worthy of it, right? But it's also like we've discussed in this is how are we doing that for ourselves? How are we truly seeing ourselves? Or are we trying to mask it or change it or only present a certain way for it? And it's so you want to be seen, you want to be considered. Are you doing it for yourself?
You have to do it for yourself. In conclusion, to wrap it all back around, how are you doing that for yourself? How are you modeling that? How are you allowing yourself to be seen authentically? How are you honoring yourself authentically so people can see that about you and honor that about you? Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I was going to say, Cassie, you have something else to say before we wrap up?
Nope. I think that was a really good discussion. It definitely took a different turn, but I think that's what it all segued into the same burnout situation. But that's again why I love this podcast is we start with one topic and we segue to others because that's how our brain works. But I think it came around very nicely, and I hope people do think about how can they fill their cup and do more for themselves so that way they can be a better role model for those around them and just know that actions speak louder than words.
Maybe that's my encouragement to anyone listening to this specific episode is go find the link in our link tree or whatever you're listening to this on. We will put it out there and share that with us. How are you honoring yourself? How are you showing up authentically? What is the thing that you did for yourself today, this week, this month that honored that allowed yourself to be seen? Because I think we all need that. We all need those gentle reminders. So go check out the link. Please share feedback. Do all the things with us. Interact with us.
And just for today, go be too much, go be all that you are, or maybe just go be less if that's what you need.
Maybe go take a nap. Do what you got to do.
Amen.
See you guys in the next one.
Okay. Bye.